Welcome back. Now, how is it that a province which homes nearly 8 million people has only 10% of its roads in a state of repair? That's right, it's of major concern that the Eastern Cape allegedly has the worst roads in the entire country. eNCA reporter Ronald Masinda is on the ground now tracking these developments, and we cross back to him for the very latest. And Ronald, earlier on we had to see even residents trying to fill in potholes on the road that you are standing on. And this just goes to show that residents have been complaining to a point whereby not only have they not received a response nor assistance, but they now bear the brunt of actually doing something about it themselves.
Yes, indeed, Tumelo. And residents are taking matters into their own hands. Several communities in the East London area, ratepayers associations, have taken it upon themselves to fix roads. And what we are seeing in Dansane are young men, of course, trying to make money, but also helping a lot of these motorists. And what we are seeing are a lot of trucks on this particular road, and the road here has been in this poor state for the past few years. I am joined now by the Eastern Cape's Transport Department spokesperson, Unati Pingosi. A sad state of affairs in Mhlekazi, but it has to be said, a lot needs to be done. What are you doing as government?
On this particular stretch, it certainly is, and it is something that the department acknowledges, something that the department is planning to attend to. We acknowledge that this particular stretch of the road is not ideal for any pothole patching. It is a strong candidate for a complete resealing. And that work was done not so long ago, but the amount of pounding that this road is getting from these trucks, we have been here for almost an hour, and the volume of trucks here are also main contributors to this condition of this road here. That is why we feel like what is needed now is a complete reseal rather than pothole patching, particularly for this stretch.
Give us a sense of numbers. How much are we talking about? How much is invested in fixing the roads? And can you perhaps also elaborate on the amount of potholes? Because it's quite a lot.
Indeed, when it comes to potholes, they are a problem, not just on provincial roads, but also on those roads that are in inner cities, roads that belong to municipalities. We do have a problem there, and we wish not to make any bones about it, particularly to the public, and say this road belongs to whoever, because all they know is that it's one government, and we are working very, very closely with our municipalities as the province to deal with the problem of potholes and the issue of reseal. If you go towards to the road R67 between Makanda and Port Alfred, it is a good example of the work that we have done to deal with the issue of potholes, not just in pothole patching, but in doing a complete reseal. And I challenge you to also pay a visit to that stretch of the road to see some of the work that we're doing. But when it comes to the issue of backlog, there is a huge backlog, not just on urban roads, but also on rural roads. That is why we are very thankful for the work that our national government is doing. Minister Sihle Zikalala was in the province not so long ago to attend to the issue of rural roads, but urban roads need all serious attention as well.
And sadly, Unati, a lot of people have lost their lives due to poor road infrastructure. We've dealt with stories where kids struggle to cross over bridges when it rained, and sadly and unfortunately a lot of them drown. Do we have the worst road infrastructure in the country?
Well, it would be difficult for me to make that comparison as someone who's based largely in the Eastern Cape, who knows the challenges of only the Eastern Cape by and large. However, it's worth acknowledging that we do have a problem. Comparatively, I would know with other provinces, but even if we were not the worst, it's bad enough that we have roads that are in the condition that they are in now. But we want to assure the people of the Eastern Cape and the people of South Africa at large that work is being done. There are roads that were gravel roads before that have now been turned into tar road. The project from R72 towards Hambeck is another example that we are converting what was a dead road into tar road. There are many other examples. Willowville to Dwesa is another example, and of course Hluleka is another example. But we acknowledge that the challenge that we're faced with is very immense, but we are up to the challenge.
Talk to us about the issue of rail infrastructure. How far are we to getting more trains on the tracks?
Rail infrastructure will certainly ease a lot of load that is on our roads now. I mean, the volume of trucks that we've seen in not so long ago is testimony to the problem that we have. The issue of rail, the MEC for Transport in the Eastern Cape, Mr. Ngata, has spoken strongly about the need to revive rail, and I understand that even at national level there is a strong drive to get freight off our roads into rail, and by doing that we believe that we'll be able at the very least not to repair road infrastructure as often as we have to now, because we are even unable to keep up with that challenge. So we are hopeful that the powers that be will be able to deliver on that.
All right, Unati, thank you very much for your time. That was Unati Pingosi, the spokesperson for the Department of Transport here in the Eastern Cape, also acknowledging that the province has serious problems when it comes to road infrastructure.
Well, of course, we'll continue to place the spotlight on road infrastructure and hopefully government giving timelines, because the residents want to know when exactly will the roads be fixed, given that it's been some time and some years even past, Ronald, when it comes to, of course, just the burden placed on residents to maneuver through the dilapidating road infrastructure from where they stand. But thank you so much, colleague, for bringing this matter to the fore.